Hello, mathletes. We are going to take a look at surface area and volume of rectangular prisms today. So let's get going. So here's a rectangular prism. We think of this as a box. We call this a box sometimes. There is a specific type of rectangular prism we encounter sometimes, and that is a cube. And what's unique about a cube, of course, is that every measure, every single measure is the same length. So if this side is 5 centimeters, then that edge is also 5 centimeters, and so on and so forth. So it makes a perfect cube. All right, but we're going to begin by looking at surface area. So we're going to think about what these shapes would look like if they were a net. And a net would just be that particular shape lying open so every side can be seen. So we would have a bottom. We would, of course, have 4 sides. And then what's often forgotten is there's a top too. So as we look at these, we know that in a cube, everything is going to match. But when we're not talking about a specific cube in any rectangular prism, we can talk about the fact that the top and the bottom would have the same size. The two sides here would have the same size, and the two sides here would have the same size. So there's always a pattern we can look at with these. But the goal here is to just find the area of each side and then add those areas together so that we can find out exactly how much area is on the outside of this figure. And think about if you were going to wrap this box and you didn't want any of the wrapping paper to overlap, and you needed exactly the right amount of wrapping paper so that every edge matched up. That's what you would need for the box. That would be the total surface area. So in the case of the cube, we have 6 sides. Again, there's always 3 sets of matching sides in a cube. It's 6 sides that match. So we have 6 sides that all have the same area measure. And in this case, the width is 5 centimeters and the length is also 5 centimeters. So we know that each side is going to be length times width, 5 centimeters times 5 centimeters, and that will give me the area of each side. And of course, we're going to need that times 6 because we have 6 sides here. So, and I should put SA for surface area. So we have 5 times 5, of course, is 25, and centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. And now we will need to multiply all of this times 6 to get all 6 sides. And of course, 25 times 6 is 150, and that's still going to be centimeters squared. Remember, this is not volume. This is only area. This is the area of the outside of this figure, and that's why we have centimeters squared. Area is only length times width. So that one's quite simple, and the rectangular prism is going to be a little bit more complicated because we have other things to consider here, which are 3 different measures. So if we were to draw out this rectangular prism, let's think about what the bottom lengths would be. So the bottom of this is 4 inches. And this length here is actually the same as this one. So that's 5 inches. Okay. So again, here's the bottom and the top. This 4 is also here. And this 5 here is also here. And then we have to think about the sides of this. So coming out from this 4 inches, here we have this long side that has 8 inches in its length here. And we have another one that looks just like that here. This is all 4 across here. And then coming out this way and this way, we have another 8 inches. But this is going to be 5 inches here. The same is going to be true here. Give myself quite enough space there. But this is 8 inches by that 5 inches. And then of course we can't forget, and this is the one that often gets forgotten, that there is a top to match this bottom. And of course the top is still that 4 inches by that 5 inches. So let's take a look here. So we have this bottom that is 4 inches by 5 inches matching. We have this side that is 8 by 5 matching here. We have this side that is 4 inches by 8 inches, and I can mark that one in here because this 4 inches is the same all the way through. These match. So we have, excuse me, of the 6, we do have 3 sets of matching sides. So now it's just a matter of finding the area of each of these, and then we're going to add those together. So let's go back here. And okay, so we now know 5 times 4, and we have inches times inches. So this is going to be 20 inches squared. That's going to be here, and we know that this matches. Here we have 5 inches by 8 inches and 5 inches by 8 inches. So that's going to be 40 inches squared. And of course, this one matches. And then here we have 8 inches by 4 inches. So length times width there is going to be 32 inches squared. And of course, this one matches. So now it's just a matter of putting this all together. And we can try to do this a little more quickly by adding up sides. So we have 2 40s. So that's 80 inches squared. And then to that, we're going to add 2 20s. So that's 40 inches squared. And then we have 2 32-inch square sides. And that's going to be 64 inches squared. So in the end, I'm going to have inches squared, and I'm just going to add this up. And my total surface area here is 184 inches squared. Now there's a formula we can use somewhat like what we did here in order to do this as well. But sometimes it's nice to just see the mechanics of it and be able to use that. So we've done these two together. So this is our opportunity now for you to try this on your own. So I would invite you to stop the video here, try the 2 problems. You can reference the other ones to help you along, and then come back and check and correct your work. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully you have these 2 problems finished now, and we can go ahead and check and correct our work. So we'll begin with our cube. And again, the surface area of our cube is going to be length times width. So 8 centimeters times 8 centimeters. And then that would give me the area of one side. And of course, I have 6 sides. So we would be multiplying that by 6. 8 times 8 is 64. And of course, centimeters times centimeters is centimeters squared. And then we will be multiplying that by 6. So our surface area is going to be 384 centimeters squared. And hopefully that's what you have. And then on this next one, we can again open this up and see what we have here. So the bottom of this figure is going to be 4 inches across here and 3 inches across here. And then these sides are going to come out 6 inches tall each. So these are all 6 inches. And then of course we can't forget about the top. That's going to match this bottom here. And it can be put on any one of these, but I usually put it under the original one. And this, of course, again, is 4 inches by 3 inches. And if it helps you, again, you can match these up, top and bottom. Two sides that would be a match, and the other two sides that would be a match. If that helps, do that for yourself. And then we would just be finding the area of each one, 4 times 3, and then inches times inches. This is going to be a match here. 4 times 6, inches times inches, inches squared. This will be a match here. This is 6 times 3 is 18 inches squared, and this will be a match here. And again, we can simplify this a little bit for ourselves. Top and bottom, 12 and 12 would be 24 inches squared. We have 24 and 24. That's going to be 48 inches squared. Got these all done. And then 18 and 18 is going to be 36 inches squared. And we will add that all up to be 108 inches squared. And that's it. Thanks for watching and advocating for yourself.